Transform your body in 12 weeks. So you may want to grab pen and paper. I'm going to share with you a couple of key things on how to transform your body in 12 weeks. First thing I feel is very important is to have a clear, specific goal. So we're going to do a little goal exercise with this right here. If you could wave a realistic magic wand, and you can have your body, your health, your energy, any kind of way you wanted it to be over the next year, say, for example, say ultimately, what would you like that to be? That's what I want you to get clear and specific on. I'm going to show you how to do it in 12 weeks. But first, I feel it's very important to be clear and specific, knowing exactly where you want to go. That's very important, I feel like. For example, I'll use myself as an example. I was recently measured in at 180 pounds at about 11% body fat. My goal is that I'm at least 190 pounds and at or below 10% body fat. That is a very clear and specific, measurable goal, right? So that's the good thing about fitness. That's one thing I love about fitness goals is that they can be very measurable, very clear, very specific, right? So what is that for you? Say it out loud if you're driving or working out right now. If you do happen to have pen and paper, write it down. Get clear and specific. Write a specific number, a specific body fat. If you're not clear on what to think about body fat percentages, here's a little thing to do about that. You don't need a fancy test. All you have to do is just go online, look up men and women's, or if you just want one or the other, body fat percentages, and look up images. And you'll see they'll have a reference range from a very lean body to a very overweight person, and they'll give you all the ranges in between. You can look at the scale on the image and determine, where you're at on the scale. You can measure, you can see the picture and say, okay, you can kind of judge. You can get very close, I feel like, by looking at those pictures. And then look at the ones further down where you want to be, your goal. What body fat percent would you like to have? If you could have it any kind of way you wanted, what would that be for you? And if you have other goals, list them too. Get very clear and specific on your goal. That's the number one thing I would recommend you do, especially if you want to transform your body in the next 12 weeks, is to get clear and specific on your goal. Write it down, memorize it, internalize it. Now, let's set up a affirmation / prayer for you to internalize your goal. Here it is. I am happy and grateful now that I am, you fill in the blank. So for example, how I say it, I am happy and grateful now that I am at least 190 pounds and at or below 10% body fat. That's my goal. What is your goal? And that's how you frame it. I am happy and grateful now that I am, you fill in the blank. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Now, why is that so important? What's the benefit of that, to doing that? Other than maybe somebody thinks if you're driving by me on my way to the studio and you're seeing me yell out, I am happy and grateful now that I am at least 190 pounds and at or below 10% body fat. You might think I'm being crazy, but that does something for us, and it helps us on our journey to our best self. Why does that do that? Why does that do that? Well, let's break it down just briefly, that affirmation. Let's break it down briefly. I am happy and grateful now. That's the thing. I am happy and grateful right now. That's the thing. Happy and grateful and now, right? I am happy and grateful. Gratefulness, if you look up energy and vibrations and feelings, certain feelings, gratefulness, from what I understand, is right up there with the highest, if not the highest emotion to feel, gratefulness. And that's the thing is, we're happy and grateful, right? And this is also the piece of the affirmation I feel that's really key. I am happy and grateful now, right now. And I really want you to take this in. What that means is you're setting yourself in the present tense. I am happy and grateful right now that I am. Does that make sense? You're saying to yourself that you're happy and grateful right now that you are what it is you want to be in the future. That's the beauty of the affirmation / prayer. And I encourage you to, if you get anything out of this lesson today, I encourage you to internalize this and see if this will help you on your fitness journey. And here's the framework. I am happy and grateful now that I am, and then you fill in the blank. I'm happy and grateful now. You're saying it in the present tense that you're grateful right now. That's what I'm saying. My real future goal is that I'm 190 pounds and at least below 10% body fat. I'm currently about 185 pounds. So I'm working my way up there, right? But when I'm saying my goals daily and I'm praying for them daily, I'm saying I'm happy and grateful now that I am. And that's the whole framework, is that I'm saying I'm right now, like I'm putting myself I'm feeling what it feels like to be at over 190 pounds and at a below 10% body fat. I feel it. I know what it feels like. I'm internalizing it. It's very mental, but I'm telling you, it'll assist you in transforming your body, whether it's over the next 12 weeks or to keep you transformed over the next 12 years. Which I hope and pray for you that you're very successful in the fitness realm. So once we have your framework set up, that's your goal. So once you have your goal set up, I am happy and grateful now that I am, you fill in the blank, to transform that body in the next 12 weeks. I feel all you have to basically do is concentrate on what I call the 5 fundamentals of fitness, basically 5 key things. I had a mentor of mine that he once said that in any major area of life, there are really only about a half a dozen things that, if done correctly, you'll be successful. The fundamentals of certain things: fitness, finance, relationships, spirituality. With fitness, I feel like there are only really 5 areas that, if you'll follow the key areas, you'll follow these 5 fundamentals, you will achieve success. And if you put them to a maximum effort in 12 weeks, you can do a lot in 12 weeks. I've seen so many transformations in 12 weeks. You can do it on your own, or if you want help, that's what I'm here for. Reach out to me for help. But you can do a lot in 12 weeks, a whole lot. And this is what we do. This is what we do. So it's training, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. Those are the 5 fundamentals to fitness: training, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. Let's look at training for a minute. Imagine for a moment that we have a twin-engine airplane, and we have one engine is exercise or strength training, one engine is cardiovascular training, and not including. Just thinking about, once you get it going and you're flying and you're going along, imagine if you only had one engine working on the airplane. It wouldn't be as efficient unless we have both engines going on the airplane. So you want to have a good strength training program going and cardiovascular training program going. For me, just using myself as an example, my goal is to exercise 5 days a week of cardio and 5 days a week of strength, right? You do you can do 3 days a week, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5. I don't really recommend 6 and 6. That's sometimes overtraining is a thing, right? So maybe 3, 4, 5 days a week. A good place to start. That's training. Now, when it comes to actual strength training, consider following these 5 basic principles of training: proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. Those are the 5 basic principles of training. Now let's look at proper form. Why would proper form be important? Think about that. Why would it be important? So you don't get hurt, and then also too, so that we're effectively exercising the muscle. You're getting the most use out of your time. So that's why proper form is important. Variety. Why would we want to change it up from time to time? Why couldn't you just do the same workout over and over again? Why would you have to change it up occasionally? Have you ever heard of a plateau? A lot of times in our journey, on the fitness journey, we all encounter plateaus. And a way to overcome these plateaus is to incorporate variety into our workout. How do we do variety? You can go higher reps, low reps, change the exercises altogether, change the tempo of the movement, 5 seconds on the way down versus 2 seconds on the way down, right? Those are some things to consider, right? So we have proper form, variety, then intensity. What comes to mind when you think about exercising with intensity? What comes to mind? Challenging yourself, right? Pushing it, right? So imagine for a moment that we're doing chest presses, right? Imagine that we're going for 12 repetitions. Get to 9, 10, 11. We barely get that 12th one, but we get that 12th one. What's the most beneficial part of that set? The first few reps or the last few reps? Think about it. Well, I'd say the last few. And why would that perhaps be? The last few, because that's where the muscles get overloaded and challenged, right? So the muscles get pushed right there. And that's when we overload the muscle, that's what makes them want to grow back more muscle, right? So that's the beauty about that. So we challenge ourselves in the gym. It's through the rest and recovery. You overcompensate and you get stronger and better, right? So that's intensity. So proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles is the 4th principle of training, proper training principles. There are lots of training principles, things like compound sets, supersets, drop sets, rest pause training, circuit training. There are several training principles to incorporate. And that's the beauty about training with a professional, whether it's virtually or in person like myself, is I have access to all of them. And you have access to them too. You just have to look them up or learn how to do them. But there are a lot of different training principles to incorporate into a routine, which makes it a lot of fun and does keep us out of breaking plateaus. So, and then last but not least is consistency. Now, when it comes to exercising in the fitness life, why is consistency very important? Why is that? Why is consistency very important? Imagine for a moment you have a twin, and we're having a fun little 1-year competition. We're going to meet back here in 1 year and see who's done the best, right? So you come back. Let's just say, for example, you work out 3 days a week with strength and cardio. You eat 80% healthy. You get your rest. You're doing everything you can, right, to be consistent. Your twin starts off, however, though, misses a workout here and there, has extra cheat meals, sometimes skips the good meals. At the end of the year, who's going to have the best progress? You are the consistent person. The power of consistency is very, very important. And with that, it brings to mind that discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs ton. A mentor of mine taught me that, and that is so powerful, particularly with fitness. Think about that the fitness disciplines weighs ounces, but if you neglect it, that's going to weigh tons. Later on in life, if you're obese, go through your life being overweight, not being the best that you can be, probably it lowers sex drive, all these challenges. That's going to be regretful. That's going to be awful feeling. But then imagine if you stick with it, you exercise health and you eat healthy and you get your rest, those disciplines, those are going to weigh ounces along the way. It's not it's something you can do consistently over time. And in the long run, it's going to weigh ounces. But if you don't do it, if you don't get a healthy body now and get your body in check, that regret is going to weigh tons on you. Please consider that. So that's training. Now let's take a look at nutrition. With nutrition, I feel like affects our body in basically 4 different ways. Increases our metabolism, our energy levels, our insulin levels, and our blood sugar levels. Now imagine for a moment that we're trying to build a 2-story house from scratch. And imagine that we only have half the materials necessary to build the house. How far are we going to get? About halfway, right? The foods that we all eat, you and I eat on a daily basis, are like the supplies that goes towards building our body. So think about that. The stuff that we eat every day, look back the last year, the last 10 years of your life, and look at where you are now. If you're healthy now, that's as a result of making good choices. If you're not feeling healthy right now, it's a result of eating poor food choices. But now you can go forward. Even in 12 weeks, you can do so much if you got on board and exercise 3 days a week, ate at least 80% correct. You don't have to be perfect, right? But that's the thing with the food, the stuff that we eat every day, that's what's building our body. So consider having a whole food, plant-based diet. I encourage like half our diet, I believe, should be fruits and vegetables. There's so much goodness and health in that. And then the other half, whole grains and legumes, little nuts and seeds. And then if you want to dig a little bit further, consider watching The Game Changers. It's a documentary on Netflix and YouTube, The Game Changers, right? Now, when it comes to the types of food, imagine for a moment that we have a fireplace. We're trying to get this fire going in the fireplace. And on one hand, we have a stack of oak wood. And on the other hand, we have a stack of paper. Not including, getting the fire started. But if we had to choose between the oak wood or the paper to burn in our fireplace, which one would we pick and why? Think about it. Well, most people I talk to would go with the oak wood. And why would the oak wood be a better choice in the fireplace to burn all day long? Why would that be a better choice? Because it's hard, dense wood. It's once lit, it's gonna burn longer. Paper is just gonna burn fast and very inefficient, right? So fruits and vegetables, high fiber foods, lentils and all that good stuff, they're going to have very dense nutrients. So once entered into the body, it's going to last a long time. If we have processed foods like fast foods with the enriched bleached flour breads and sugary sodas and stuff like that, it's just going to burn fast and very inefficiently and most of it will spill over and store as fat, right? And I know that's a lot of us, we're trying to get away from the body fat. I know I'm always like, I'm trying to go from 11 to under 10%, but so, but that's the thing. But if you eat a high fiber, like whole food diet, it's going to a lot less likely store as fat. So if you're exercising, so here's the breakdown over the next 12 weeks. If you're exercising with a blend of strength training and cardiovascular, whether it's 3 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week, cardio and strength, combination with eating healthy, a whole food, plant-based diet. And doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but I encourage you, if you could at least do 80% or better, you're going to be successful. Number 3 is recovery. Sleep approximately 7.5 to 9 hours sleep a night. Number 4 is supplement intelligently. I feel there are basically 2 different categories of supplements. We have nutritional supplements and we have enhancement performance supplements. The main difference is like nutritional supplements like smoothies. I've always enjoyed smoothies. Whether you like fruity flavors or chocolate flavors, chocolate peanut butter, we can make them taste any way we like nowadays and to be whole food, plant-based, healthy. And then also too, there are great enhancement performance supplements like creatine monohydrate. And then if you're over 40, if you have hormonal therapy, that's where I put that in that category. But what matters to most, what I want to get across, is that we must be exercising, eating healthy, getting our rest, then we supplement. That's when it's going to make the biggest difference. And then last but not least is the mindset. Imagine for a moment that we're trying to build a huge commercial building, a tall building, and we have these equipment out in front. You know how you have the crane that goes real tall like that, and it's got that box at the bottom of the crane, and you got the person pulling the levers on the crane, right? So you got the person in there pulling the levers, and the big machine is pulling things around. Well, I feel that is how our mind is with our body. Your mind, my mind, is that person in the box pulling the lever on our body. Now, the trick, I feel, is to not let our mind tell our body what to do. My mind told my body, you're going to work out 5 days a week. You're going to do 5 days a week of cardio, and you're going to do 5 days a week of strength. My mind told my body that. I'm not going to let my body, when it comes down to doing the cardio, and my body says, well, I don't really feel like it right now, I'm not going to let that take over. I decided already, and then I'm going to implement it. This is what's in charge of us, not the body. So once you decide to take action on your fitness plan, nutrition plan, that's what's important. And then just implement it. And if you can't implement it yourself, reach out for help. That's where coaching comes in. And that's what I do. I have a very special virtual training offer. Just if you're interested, one way or another, get it done. I encourage you to get it done. So that's the recap. So proper training, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. And then last but not least, I have a couple of free offers. If you want more information about fat loss from me, you can go to fit.fitness, fit.fitness. That'll take you to my primary website, weightlosssolutionsThatWork.com. I have a 7-day free email series and a 21-day email series. The 7-day email series is a text-based, so you just read it and learn. I have tips on how to drop fat, how to get healthy. And then the 21-day email series is basically video-based. So you have to be willing to listen to a 10, 15-minute video, and it's going to be on mindset and how to get lean and healthy and overcome a lot of these obstacles and be successful. All right, that's it. I appreciate your time and your energy. Remember, health is wealth. Without our health, what does it matter, right? Our health is wealth. Keep that in mind. Be blessed. And remember, my goal is to come at you every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring your questions online. You can call in. I'll take a question on the air if you want to ask a question. I'm trying to make, have you ever heard of the Ramsey Show? So I'm trying to make it like a call-in show. So call in, text in your question, come back for support. But I'm here for you at all those times, bringing as much support as I can. And I want you to be your best healthy self. So go for it yourself. Reach out to me if you need some help. And let's get it done. Let's make this next year, 2025, your best year. All right. See you next time. Bye for now.